Hello, welcome to my channel. My topic is about indigenous people of the United States, all over the United States, because nobody gives natives credit for anything hardly these days. They only care about other people. It shouldn't be like that. I must give praise to the Most High, because without Him, like I said before, I'm nothing without the Most High. And always forget, nobody's your boss but the Creator, not these fake bosses that you see on this planet Earth. Now, get started. Indigenous people of the United States. First of all, I want to say, if you like what I say, share, like, and subscribe. Uh, Let me start talking about indigenous people. If it wasn't for us, our contributions go unheard of. Nobody cares. Maybe some people do, but a lot of these organizations are fake. And I'm not saying everybody is important. It's like they say Black Lives Matter. Everybody matters, not just one person of a different authenticity. But what I'm getting back to, the topic I'm talking about, indigenous people. Like, I've started a GoFundMe page, to raise money for the Pueblo Indians in New Mexico. They live in adobe houses, and Apaches and Navajos live there, and other natives live there. Every year, I have their catalog. I always buy things out there, try to help contribute. But now my page will be open tomorrow for people if they want to donate money. If you don't, it's fine. But my friend gonna put that in my YouTube video so everybody can see what I'm doing. They need stoves. Um, they used to be $360, but now they 500. They need those kind of stoves that burn wood, and because every year I've read some of their stuff that they be inside the catalog that I get in the mail every other month from them. I buy stuff from them to help support them. Nobody else won't. Not even the governor there probably don't. But what I'm saying, these Indians in the wintertime, it gets very cold there, and they said that a lot of them freeze to death. Plus their children do too. Um, you don't see nobody like raising hands to help them. But I'm not saying that's bad either. But when something happened in another country, we quick to help them and stuff like that. And it wasn't for natives. Like I said in my other video, they paved the way for everybody. Because other countries would have been invaded too if they hadn't won that war in Pearl Harbor. Because when I watched the other guy, China, he's from New Zealand. Him and his wife and his two children, they don't know certain things, but they from foreign countries. And he said, even he said, wow, I guess they helped us too, because he's from New Zealand. He said, if we hadn't won that war, he said the Japanese plan on invading their country. They don't have like a military there, I think. He said, Britain is their military, like Great Britain. That's their military, because they don't have one in their country, because their country don't deal in wars and stuff like other countries or like ours. So that's why I hope they look at my channel and see what I'm talking about. It's like they love the Star Spangled Banner, but they don't know the history behind it. I was telling them about the Star Spangled Banner. A lawyer from Maryland um, named Francis Scott Key wrote that song, and I guess y'all didn't know they left that part out that he owned slaves. So you think he was nice to them slaves? I don't think so. But I just want y'all to know, when they say the 13 colonies, those 13 colonies was colonized by Europeans. Then later on, they became states. See, that's what you don't know. And the American flag wasn't good to Native American Indians or African Americans and stuff like that. They put Indians on reservations. The ones that didn't want to go, they was killed and stuff like that. I'm not being mean, but that's how things was done back then. So take heed of what I say. And the next topic I'm gonna talk about um, where these days come from: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm gonna talk about that on my next topic. But right now, I'm staying on the subject of indigenous people. I ain't talking about no fake indigenous people, but anybody can say they Native American. It don't have to necessarily mean that you part of of that tribe. And I get sick of people always trying to take credit for something that they didn't do. And people say all this stuff about Native. I get very upset. I got people in my family that's very light, long hair. Hair don't make you an Indian. It's your heart, and stuff like that. You know who you are, and all natives don't talk like the way they talk. That's Hollywood, like the way I talk. People, you don't sound like an Indian. I said because that's Hollywood. And you see, only way an Indian would talk with a southern drawl, if he come from that state, or like Wyoming, South Dakota, Garrison, Wyoming, places like that, and Wisconsin. He gonna talk a little different because that's where he come from. But he not gonna be talking me go get cheap, start 'em war. That's what they make you think in Hollywood. They like to make fun of people. Every culture I've seen, they got always had to have Italian players and mafia. And sometimes Italian don't even be in there. That's exploitation. They do the same thing with African Americans. They do it with other cultures of color and stuff like that. But I'm just throwing that in there. But like what I'm saying, um, Indians did a lot for this country. They practically fed everybody that came here. And when foreigners came to this country, they would say, whoever get to the other side in your buggies, you get thousands of acres of land, and they would just give the land to people that didn't even get it, that wasn't entitled to it. Just like African Americans, they was promised 40 acres and a mule. They didn't even get the mule or the acres. And so some people don't even care about slavery. I'm not saying everybody like that, but I have talked to a lot of African Americans too. Some of them don't care about their people. All they care about is money. They don't care what happened. Those people suffered a lot, and so did Native Americans because it wasn't for Indians. Like I told a girl, ain't nobody be in this country. This country was seized. So paperwork, bosses, all that stuff is fake. And that's why I be saying your boss, the real boss, is the creator, the one that responsible for everything on this earth. He created animals first and humans came second. That's why natives know not to abuse an animal. You always supposed to leave some food for the animal. Other people don't do that. I see people abuse animals. Like I seen this little boy throwing rocks, hitting a duck. That's how he likes to hit you with rocks. He's not bothering you. That's not nice. Stop that. Animals is very precious, and that's why you're supposed to love and cherish them. I see people mistreat animals. We don't want them leave where he at. All they want is your affection and comfort and to be fed and loved and cuddle up. That's what we do with our cats. We got two cats, and I love them just like I would love my wife, my sons, everybody in my family. I love everybody, even somebody who's not in this country. But some people come here and abuse the country. And even though America do things, this is still one of the greatest countries to live in. That's why everybody's here. And yeah, that's abusing. I worked in Foxwood. A lot of people. I'm not saying everybody. I got people from friends from the Caribbean, but these were just stupid individuals. The Haitians that want to work with me, the Africans that want to work with me, Jamaicans that want to work with me at Foxwood and stuff like that. I don't know why. I'm just letting people know something, But getting back to Indians, Indians was all over this United States. I like the word indigenous better. That means original people of the land. And I'm not saying everybody got a great culture. I like to look at other cultures too. But the subject I'm talking about today, Indians go like I know this other native. He used to work in Fox with him, Mohawk. And, he was telling me a story. This Indian girl, indigenous lady, got raped. She was coming home Like she had to walk on the side of the road on the highway to go home. She had a car. And for when I say Euro, that's a European descent person. I wish people stop calling them white because they not white. They European descent. You call. I'm not saying. I'm not trying to be racist, but when you call a white person white, it's like saying they got power over you. Look up the word white. It says pure of driven snow and all that. But if you look up the word black, it's evil, deceitful, bad. And that's why I said, who wrote the dictionary? You know who wrote the dictionary. That's why he put his interpretation in there, and it's not correct. So people always do that, and it's not right either. But what I'm saying, I wish people get it to their heads for once and for all. My wife told me to stop talking about these YouTubers like those audit people. I am. I'm just saying I should be focused more on my people. I just wanted to check them. Well, they don't like to be checked, but they like to check everybody else. But let me get back on my subject. When something happened to a native, they don't hardly get televised. When they do, they don't tell the story right. My mother was telling me she had it real bad when she was coming up. When people found out what she was, like we lived in New Jersey. I lived on Dodge Street, the same block that Whitney Houston used to live on that street. And I seen them a couple of times. I even went to their church in Newark and stuff like that because I was born in Newark, New Jersey. Then we moved to New York and we stayed there. I stayed in New York a long time, but I went to school, public school, junior high school in Jersey, East Orange, New Jersey, and I moved from there to New York in 1974, and I moved to Connecticut in 2006. Look how long I've been in New York. I went to school. In New York, I graduated from Bayside High. Bayside High is not too far from Shea Stadium in Queens, where the Mets play at. But getting back to what I'm saying, uh, I'm not gonna never let nobody say that indigenous people is not real. You know who they are. We are who we are. Whether you are dark, native, or light, and you all the same. They don't. Natives don't have no expectations about how somebody look, but other people do. You got some Indians that's dark to light. Jim Thorpe. Uh, he was a native. He the one that helped create NFL football. He played football in 1912. He was born 1888, died 1953. They used to give his award out, and he got the Heisman Trophy. I know O.J. Simpson got his award, and he ran track in 1928 and won the Olympic gold. But when they found out what he was, they stripped him of that, and they tried like it was something else. No, it wasn't. They didn't like him because who he was. Back then, the New York Giants and the Green Bay Packers were the two original teams. Those were the only two teams they had at that time. All the other teams came out later in 1938, like all the other teams is expansion teams. The New York Giants and the Green Bay Packers, they are the original team. But the Giants and the Green Bay Packers, they should be about like 140 years old. They, they was playing football in 1912, the New York Giants. That's why they wear that leather uh, hat. It didn't even have like a face guard to protect you from getting hit or broken nose. Then they had another team of Native American. I don't know if they was high school or college. They used to play everybody in different states in America, and they whooped everybody. Their team was unbeaten. It was all Native indigenous people. And so that's what I'm saying. Indians did a lot for people, but they don't get no respect. And something happened, you don't see it on the news that how only one you will see it like on YouTube or if a native reporter because some indigenous people have their own news channel like Indian news, so you go there and you'll see what I'm talking about. But they're not gonna pick it up local news like ABC, Channel 2, 11, 9, you know, because New Connecticut, the Island News is on Channel 3, but in New York it's on CBS Channel 2. And Eyewitness News, when they come on 7, that's New York, but in Connecticut it's on Channel 8. But that's all I'm trying to say. People got to wake up and stop listening to people. That's why I told a girl, when people saying we're your bosses, no, they not. Don't ever believe that, because the word boss, you would never, ever find that on the application nowhere. But it's a bad word. That's why they like to use it. They feel like make them got power. They act just like slave masters back in the 1800s. The same slave masters that mess with African Americans, they're the same ones that used to take out Indians. The same damn people. I'm trying to be respectful. My child's not a cussing child. But sometimes I still could say damn, but I won't say the other bad words, like F and all that stuff. I don't. I'm trying to be respectful and nice. I don't want to be like everybody else, always cussing people out just to get views and stuff. But what I'm saying, a lot of people didn't know that the Germans was behind the attack of Pearl Harbor. They kept out of the picture. They pushed the Japanese to do that, because the Japanese and Germans, they real tight. That's their ally. I think today, to this day, they still tight. So you watch karate, like I said in my two other videos, you watch karate pictures, you will see Japanese. Always some of them have SWAT stickers in their school, but they like the Germans, and then some of them have a Hitler little mustache. But get back to what I'm saying, something go missing when Indians, like, they were still Indian women off the reservations. You don't see them get much publicity for that. And it's a native. I can't think of his name. He sang the song. I think it was his cousin that got missing off the reservation. Nobody don't even take news. I learned that through watching his music and stuff like that. And I'm not trying to say one person's better than the other one, but right is right. People do bad things because they like to. I try to stay on the good side, but I know everybody's a sinner. Even I'm a sinner, but I'm not trying to act like I'm perfect. Some people act like they don't have no sin on them, and some people worship money. That's their God. We hear a lot of people saying, I want to thank God for giving me this opportunity. And so, like, who you think they really talking about? They're not talking about the Queen. They talking about the fire master, Satan. Satan, everything about him is bad. So who want to follow him? And some people uh, live in their sin so much they gonna be right with Satan when judgment day come. That's why people, even me, I'm trying to straighten up. Gotta stop cussing. Cause my wife always said, my mother always said, God rest her soul. She always said, when you cuss a lot, you attract a demon to you. They like foul mouth, because Satan is foul. That's why I'm not dissing nobody. That's why a lot of rappers is on the up and up, and some of them not. Some of them, they don't rap about nothing. They rap about destruction and killing and shooting and all that stuff. Uh, do something positive, Rap about your experiment like when you have grown up in life. Rap about what happened to you and stuff like that. But all Indians, indigenous people have paved the way. That's why it's hard to explain. I think some natives out there would agree with me and stuff like that. I would like to go to Pueblo Village in New Mexico to meet some of the indigenous people that have it so hard, and people turn their back on them and stuff like that. But everybody always trying to pretend to be a native. That's why I tell a lot of people, and some people got this belief that they better than other people. Nobody's better. Even me, I'm not better, but I just try to live righteous. Sometimes it's hard to do in a corrupt world and a system. That's why I told my son to stay on the up and up. He gets mad and talk about doing things to people. There's consequences behind what you do. Satan trying to lead you down a dark path, like Darth Vader. He was led down a dark path. You don't want to end up like that. Like, you don't know the power of the dark side. I want to know the power of the good side. I'm trying to stay on the up and up, because once your life is out, you either gotta choose where you want to go, with Satan or the Creator. That's why when I knocked that man out a couple of weeks ago, I said, Who you want to go to, Satan or Jesus? So I hit him so hard, I guess he must have saw Satan. Because he didn't get back up off the ground. I knocked him out. Not that I'm proud of that, but he threw a brick at my car. So I got the car and confronted him. That's one of them fake OGs I was talking about. I'm an OG. I did 5 years. So what? You a bootleg OG. Anybody that say that, they lying to themselves. I'm not condoning that. OG, like I said, is Al Capone. He was an OG because he had an army. He had crooked cops in his pocket, judges, politicians, jury. Like that's why they couldn't complete. He had a crooked jury. Fire department was on his side. That's why they could never get him on. The only thing they could get him on was tax evasion. They couldn't get him on no murder, but he was too clever. Not to have to condone that. These OGs that they take one, oh, I see you around. A real OG ain't gonna see you around. He gonna take care of your ass right then and there. He gonna deal with you like I said in the video. He gonna look at some of his boys and say, that means take care of him. That's why I told him you a fake OG. Then when he was talking all that smack to me, I was shocked. He was African American. Why you hating on me? And you ain't supposed to hate nobody. You should be hating on the people that put your ancestor in bondage. What are you hating on me for? And a lot of people do that because they don't know who they are. That's why they do that. And in the Bible it says people gonna steal other people's identity. That's what people do. They try to steal the Indian identity and wipe them out and pretend they're the Indian. That's why I tell people if you're a native, why you don't speak your language? In all the states, I know you got some native brothers who speak their language, but they still a native. But in all these states, 50 states, I guarantee you, Indians still speak their native tongue in all those states. And y'all don't, so stop bull. But that's what I'm saying. They don't like Indians because I had my share of people bothering me. And you would think it would be Europe people descent. It's people of color that don't like me. They don't like my son. They don't like my wife. So they don't hardly bother her because she mostly just stay at home for us. Sometimes she just don't go out because and stuff like that. Unless we go on the Fox with to relax or something like that. But all this stuff, um, people might answer to. That's why I'm trying to get right with the Creator. Indians was here for a long time. A lot of Indians was created by. I know people are gonna believe me. A lot of created was created by other entities. Like the Creator gave certain native, certain angels the power to create other people. That's why when this guy asked this native where was he from, he said the sky people. I mean, he didn't come from no other place. And all and they talking about they walked the barren streets. That's not true either. Indians already here. When the World Trade Center got knocked down, they found an Indian burial ground. They said the Indians have been buried there for over 5,000 years. So when they built the Freedom Tower, they had to build it around it and stuff like that. And Manhattan, New York, get its name from a tribe of Indians that was called Manhasset Indians. And in Jamaica, Queens, they had Jamaco Indians. That's where the word Jamaica come from. Brooklyn, they had the Canarsie Indians in that part of Brooklyn. All of them don't exist now. Now people, they find a defunct tribe and they try to pretend they those people. We Canarsie Indians. And those Indians got wiped out. They look for a tribe that's defunct. And you had to do your research and stuff like that. That's like I told people I wear war paint on my face when my mother died, but I wear it for another reason. I'm a warrior. I have I have seen things, and my mother used to see things. But my mother was a very spiritual person. She have seen like things like portals, and they open up. You can see other other worlds and stuff like that. Um, why it's very important. I speak for all Indians. indigenous people. Um, unlike the unlike the Indian Mike Tyson, I don't hold no punches back. People people are is the worst animal on this planet. It's like kryptonite. It's bad for Superman. People is like a cancer or disease. I'm not saying all, but I'm talking about the bad ones. You do have good people on this earth. 'Cause what you would need to be able to go outside and stuff like that. Like try to defunk the police department. That would never happen. Because if we had no police force, you would really get it bad. Like Black Lives Matter people, they want to be in charge of themselves. I don't want to be in charge of them. That's like being around Hitler. And I know because I have met Black Lives Matter people wanted to fight me for no reason. Because I was telling them things they didn't want to listen. They were going to try to fight me and my wife one day downtown. They had us in a circle. If y'all care, everybody supposed to matter. I mean, we didn't matter and stuff like that. But I want to get off the topic. But like getting back to the indigenous people, a person is part Indian, you should be proud. I'm not saying that Indians are better than anybody, nobody's better than anybody, but they knew how to take care of the land. They knew how to live off the land. That's why indigenous people, they was the caretakers of the land. Just like a person take care of a cemetery, they had to make sure the grass is cut, water, everything, and dig up bad roots or flowers they no good. They had to do all that all the time. I don't know how much a cemetery get cleaned, but they might do it every other couple of days. See, when Indians had the land with indigenous people, see, it's hard to break that because people keep saying um, Native American. I met some Indians don't like to be called Native American. They want to be called indigenous. Like I said before, that's the original people of the land, and that's what I wanted to tell people. If you don't believe me, getting back to that boss, look the word up. It's not a good word. I don't even know why people like to use it. I'm not mentioning no name. My wife told me to stop talking about them. Like, people like that, they don't wanna do right themselves, and that's why this is a way to get back at cops. They don't like cops at all. I can tell the way they greet them. They always try to make the cop bow down to them, like kiss his feet, like you're a god. You ain't nobody important. Only thing y'all worry about is y'all money. Like I said before, but let me stop talking about them. But getting back to indigenous people, I guarantee you, as other natives, I hope some natives tune in and listen to what I'm saying, because it's not right the way people do, and all these people fake walk around trying to pretend they native. If I wasn't sure who I was, I wouldn't do that. That's embarrassing. I have seen natives at powwows when they see fake Indians, they don't say nothing. They just look at one another like that. They don't say nothing. I mean, it's all right if even if a European person is not Indian descent, it's good to embrace the culture. You don't have to be, like some people love the culture. Like my friend, he said, I'm African American, I'm not Indian, but he loves Indian culture. Everything in his house is native. Ain't nothing wrong with that. He respecting them. Just like I respect African Americans. But when the bad ones come along, I don't talk to them. I got friends of all authenticity, so I don't want nobody to think I'm offending them, but and stuff like that. But if you follow that dark path, you will end right up with Satan. That's why his butt is in hell. He liked it because he wanted to be worshipped like Jesus, and he wanted people to worship him. And they say he was the most praised angel you ever want to see, but he used to be the light. But all of a sudden he turned wicked. That's why he would never. Sometimes Satan will tell a lie to trick you. No, he'll tell the truth to trick you to tell a lie. He reverses it. He know the entire Bible, but he not gonna. He could quote the whole Bible, the good parts. He know all the ones that he think he don't know. He know everything about you. He just can't do it. The creator can read minds, but the air that we breathe and breathe through our nostrils, God given us that to breathe with it. If it wasn't for him, you couldn't even breathe. So when I see those people that saying they are atheists, I don't judge them because that's the way they probably was brought up. But it is a creator because this planet, all this stuff wasn't here before. Who you think created it? When they talk about angels, the angels ain't really nothing but an extraterrestrial. God is the head supreme being that calls the shots, and he the one that really supposed to do vengeance. People take the law in their own hand. That's why y'all get locked up for life. 'Cause y'all not under God. But that's all I wanted to say. Uh, I feel bad that natives don't get help the way they should. Um, it brings tears in my eyes sometimes when I see what happens to natives. They get them drunk so they can take the land. The same thing they do in the African American neighborhood. They put liquor stores in their neighborhood so everybody can give your Social Security check to the man on the first. That's what it's set up for. They take your money right back to liquor. That's why the system is set up to turn you into drunks and everything. They make it hard when you can't get no job. They want you to depend on them, and they that's why they try to kill people with all these viruses and stuff to decrease the surplus population of people. And like I said before, the Statue of Liberty is part of the Illuminati. Uh, all them symbols on her represent something, like on her crown, all of that. I never even like looking at her in the water at night because she looks spooky. And that wasn't supposed to be the statue anyway. That was sitting in the water. It was supposed to be an African American woman with chains on her. But they didn't want that, like I said before. Well, I'm getting better and better. I don't want to bore nobody because sometimes you don't have no good to say. People say, "Oh, he's boring as hell," you know. But I just try to shed light on y'all. That go for everybody. I wish stop calling y'all bosses boss because it's not a good word. That's why they like it so much. You know, most bosses are nasty, like to cuss people out, they fire people, they enslave you. That word boss does mean you also dealing with the underworld. So why would you even call yourself that gangster say boss? Overseers is a boss. That means he's a boss is the one that checked the slave. He's an overseer, so I guess they the new slave master, like I said before. But I'm gonna cut it short because my son coming in and he gonna want to come in the living room and stuff like that to relax. So I hope y'all like what I said. I hope I didn't bore nobody. But that's my topic today about indigenous people that the United States forgot about some people. They always interested in other people that come in this country. Not that I'm saying bad thing, I'm telling the truth. I tried to talk about Indians downtown. They didn't want to hear it. Even the pastor, like when was talking to the pastor, he walked right out my face while I was still talking to him because I was telling him about the Indian. You'll see them saying, "Oh, Red Hawk has got a GoFundMe page. I wish people would go to. It's called Crime the Native. If you wanted to contribute." He didn't say that. He just walked out my face. Well, that's how I ended the night. So I get better and better as I go along. My next topic gonna be tomorrow. I'm gonna talk about where these days come from. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm gonna tell you where they got their how they got these names for these days of the week. So, Danada, Wado, take care and have a blessed night. Thank you. Good night.